In a documented physics experiment, a single domino was shown to knock over another domino 50% larger than itself. When you repeat this pattern, by the 30th domino, it would be long enough to topple the Empire State Building. The small but mighty power of this plastic tile encapsulates how compounding growth works. Now, what if I told you that money can grow the same way? When I first learned this, it completely changed how I thought about investing. It made me realize that wealth is not a question of luck or starting big, but about small decisions repeated consistently, which become powerful. Hi, my name is Lucas. Over the past few years, I've studied finance independently through several programs, built my own portfolio, founded my school's finance club, as well as a nonprofit organization, teaching the very ideas I'm about to share with you today to younger students across my community. All of my experiences have led me to the same conclusion. As a student, you don't need to be an economist or a Wall Street professional to understand wealth. You just need to understand time. You see, in finance, time is the greatest multiplier. It is said that Einstein once called compounding the eighth wonder of the world. So what does compounding mean in investing? Well, compounding is the process where an investment earns returns on its returns. Let's look at stocks. Say you invest $10,000 at a 10% return, which happens to be the market's average annual return rate. Over 10 years, that eventually becomes roughly $26,000. But over 40 years, that same initial investment grows to over $450,000. Time rewards discipline more than it rewards brilliance. I actually remember the moment when this idea first sparked my interest. This was me in the 6th grade, when I first picked up a book called The Early Investor. At the moment, this was mostly out of curiosity, but one idea in the book kept pulling back my attention. It showed how two people investing the exact same way could end up with completely different results, simply because one started earlier. I remember 6th grade me sitting there, rereading the page and thinking, wait, that's it? It felt like I had an unfair advantage. The younger you start, the more powerful time seems to become. That idea stuck with me. Before long, I asked my mom if she could help me open an investment account to start building a small portfolio. But I quickly realized something else. What the market looked like in the books and what it felt like in real life were two completely different things. Seeing my first stock dip, the only thing I could think was, man, my mom is going to kill me. And when you zoom in on a one-year chart, the market really does look chaotic. Prices jump up and down, sometimes violently. If this is all you ever see, investing might even look like gambling. And I don't know about you, but that's not how I want to plan my future. Zooming out, however, there has never been a 20-year period where the US stock market has ended with a negative return. Never. And you don't need to be an expert to benefit from this. Time does more for the average investor than prediction ever will. When you're playing the long game, you stop worrying about the market every day and start checking your vision for the future. That's when investing stops feeling intimidating, starts feeling empowering. Raise your hand if you've ever had to memorize the Pythagorean theorem in high school. Now, raise your hand if you've ever been taught how to invest in high school. We spend years learning how to solve equations, memorize formulas, and recall dates. But almost no time is spent learning the simple principles behind building wealth. Nationally, progress has been made. About 30 states now require some form of personal finance education. But the focus is almost entirely on short-term survival, like budgeting, credit scores, and avoiding scams. Don't get me wrong, those are all important. But when you zoom in on investing, that number of states shrinks to only 12. The question becomes, are students being taught how to manage their money just for today or how to build wealth for tomorrow? Time is the one advantage every student has. Yet, when investing isn't taught, that advantage begins to fade. But this problem is not unsolvable. I've seen what works firsthand through my nonprofit organization, the Foundations of Finance Project. In one lesson with 6th graders, we used candy as currency and gave the students a choice. Either spend their candy in a shop we set up or save it. Now, what we didn't tell them is that if they saved their candy would actually multiply. After the students had made their choices, one of them looked up and said, "So if I just wait, I get extra candy?" And that's when it hit me. Without any complex formulas or financial jargon, the students had picked up on something. That choosing patience over impulse is what allows money to grow over time. The point isn't that kids are trading candy stock. It's that when these ideas are taught early and clearly, time becomes an advantage instead of a missed opportunity. Not every student will be fortunate enough to be taught investing in school, but that does not mean you have to wait. Take initiative. Start by learning the basics. For me, it was through books like The Early Investor. Then, open an account with a parent if you're younger. Finally, start small, invest consistently in something broad, and let it sit. You don't need a massive fortune to topple the Empire State Building. So start by tipping the first domino today. Thank you.